Hi, how's it going? My name is Brad Reece, and I'm doing my persuasive presentation on skills versus degrees. So let us say we have two people, one very smart, very knowledgeable, and knows a lot about numbers. But the only downfall is that he didn't go to college. Why? Well, he can't afford it. So for that reason, he did not have an education after high school, and really he just has what life gives him. And we have person number two. He's he's a smart guy, but he's a person who does just enough to get by. In other words, throughout college, he probably cheated. He probably was lazy, relied on other people to do his work for him. And so he eventually got by and got his accounting degree. So if you take person one and two and you're hiring for an accounting firm, odds are you're going to pick person number two because obviously that person has a degree. So since that person has a degree, there's a whole lot more opportunities in order for him to get into the workforce. Well, in my opinion, that's total bogus. I think that nowadays people should be hired based on skills as opposed to degrees. Why? Because there are so many reasons as to why people don't have degrees. People today should be hired based on the skills that they have and their motivation in order to perform a task. A person should be tested rather than going to school for 4 years in order to get the job that they want. So who exactly am I talking about, and who exactly does this affect? There are people who are very unfortunate to not go to college because they either have financial situations or a tragedy in their life, anything, you name it. So what are some things that we can do for these people? One, we can start making tests given by the employers before they're hired. And so by test, what I'm saying is the employer sits them down and they read whatever they can do, and they basically just test their knowledge. All right, and so nowadays, whenever people get hired, they learn on the job. Nowadays, there is artificial intelligence that tell people how to do a job, when to do a job, or when they do the job. And so if you hire one person based on a degree and you hire another person based on skills, they're going to get the same training either way. So what's the difference between a person that doesn't have a degree and someone that doesn't? There is none. So the federal government in 2020, Trump passed that the federal government is going to start hiring based on skills instead of degrees. By no means am I saying that a person with a degree has less value than a person without a degree. They're all the same. If a person wants to go to school and get his degree, that's fine. But a person not having a degree should not get to tell whether or not they get to work in the workforce. So Trump signed an executive order saying that people without a degree is allowed to work for the federal government. There are so many examples that I could show you about people who are very successful without a degree. And that's another thing I want to talk about. People fall into the trap or mindset nowadays, not trap because college is good and bad, but people fall into the mindset that they have to go to college in order to be successful. There are numerous cases out there for people who haven't gone to college or did not get a degree, or people who did get a degree and doesn't use it. So people like that would be a person like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs went to Reedy College and he did not finish. He did not finish, and he became to be one of the most successful entrepreneurs in America. Sadly, his life was taken to cancer, but his legacy still lives on in a company known as Apple. Apple is a Apple is a multi-billion-dollar company today because of him, and he did not need college because of it. Another person is Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk is a little different. Elon, in fact, did go to college where he got 2 bachelor's degrees in economics and physics. He went on to start a business called Tesla. Tesla is a car company with Elon having a net worth of $34 billion. Now, he's the CEO of the company. But in other words, if you go back and look at what he's done, he could have done everything that he could do without the degree. So I'm not saying that the degree wasn't useful because of economics, and so he got to experience the economic part of the spectrum. But honestly, he could have done the same thing without it because he's a smart guy. Obviously, there are certain jobs where you must have a degree, like doctors, lawyers. It goes on and on. But at the same time, those are the jobs that society relies on to keep everybody intact and sane. And so, whenever you're talking about jobs like accounting degrees, or a hairstylist, like obviously you should be able to bypass that just based on the skills that you already know. So why go to college to learn non-useful information for stuff that you're not even going to use later on? So in my opinion, the world should stop looking at pieces of paper that says that you're qualified to do something and start going based off of the skills that you've obtained throughout your life. Thank you.